Diablos, Jason. We've got a scrim going on here. And Reborn Knights, so nice opportunity for me to warm up from a long, lengthy stay away from casting. So on the left, we have most of Reborn Knights Black with team captain for Reborn Knights Black, the Pie Maker on Kael'thas, Ison on Arthas, Crafty Devil is on Zeratul, Z-Doc on Stukov, and Glover is playing Diablo. In fact, that's pretty much the whole of Reborn Knights Black now. But the Pie Maker actually being chased down here. Phantom's going very deep in on that Genji. These guys are not going to let me introduce them. In fact, they are going full ham. Genji actually in a lot of trouble. Gets rooted there by Crafty Devil, or by Ison actually. Crafty Devil's the one that's coming in and doing the final damage though, but it's going to pay for it in spades as the turn from Reborn Knights Red. Speaking of, most of Reborn Knights Red sitting on the red team as Agent actually gets flipped and pushed. The action just never ending here. But just to finish off our introduction, Rabid Penguin is going to be zoning them out and killing the Diablos as well on that Anubarak. Misconductor filling in to play Uther. Agent G is on the Tychus Phantoms, going to be playing the Genji, and up in that top lane we've got Soru on the Leoric. They're going to be going back and forth in this top lane. Soru getting some nice soak. Start off the game. Both teams pretty much even here. 2-1 so far for the side of Reborn Knights Red. Meanwhile, Genji actually going down there as well. Maybe getting a little too ham in the mid lane as we see him falling behind the wall. Thinking he can maybe get out of a tough situation there. But we do see them trading out the shrines at this moment. Just trying to focus on the bottom lane here to start is Reborn Knights Red, but the three-man rotation, very tight, solid rotation coming in here from Black as they come in and are going to go ahead and take this. Somebody's going to have to cover the mid. That's going to be Genji. Phantom's going back to the mid. Crafty Devil watching these rotations, being the Crafty Devil he is on that Zeratul, sneaking behind, maybe looking to try and ambush somebody on their way back down. But right now, Red just trying to do a good job here of sitting in the bushes, taking a look, making sure nobody's able to cap this. They are starting to try to rotate down. They do catch Glover a little bit out here, but Rabid Penguin getting pretty low on the Anubarak, has to back up to not spread the bombs. Nice job avoiding spreading the bombs, and it does look like it's going to be a 2-0 so far. Crafty Devil's going to have to blink over the wall to stop that from being a 3-0. Reborn Knights Red not going to get back in time, though, on that Genji dash. Be able to interrupt in the first Dragon Knight of the game. Going to be captured by Ison. Coming down from that top lane to be able to grab the Dragon Knight before RK Red had a chance to cap it. Kappa. We do see they're going to go ahead and move on up to that top lane is Ison. He's taking a lot of free damage from that tower. Doesn't have any minion support, so he's going to go ahead and back up on that here. Is Ison. He's taking a lot of free damage. Apologize for that, folks. We got all kinds of fun stuff going on here, but the kicks continue. Ison trying to give himself some space. Does rotate up to the top of that lane where he's only going to get shot by one of those turrets. Very nice little micro play there. Misconductor in all kinds of trouble in the mid, though. Crafty Devil going to go ahead and get himself another pick off. All of a sudden, the kill count 4-4 here in the bottom lane. Side of Reborn Knights Black trying to do what they can to try and push in and get even more advantage in the bottom as the Dragon Knight will finally fall in the mid. Agent's going to be able to clean up here in the mid to get the end of that with his excellent Tychus bikini going on there. Like a Speedo, I should say. Not really a bikini, I suppose. Only half of a bikini. Ison getting the soak up in the top lane, trying to get a little bit of an advantage here. Level 7 picked up just a skosh earlier by the side of Reborn Knights Black. Z-Doc spreading out those heals, trying to get the value off of that Stukov pick. And right away, we do see 4-man rotation here. Rabid's looking for something in here, trying to find any members caught out here. Gets the 2-man stun with those spines. Misconductor also trying to rotate through here. Crafty's just kind of waiting for his opportunity to go in, though. Bombs minimally spread there, but Glover is actually going to end up going down here. Crafty also taking a little bit of harass, but is also able to give as good as he gets there in the mid. Meanwhile, in the top, Leoric and Arthas going head-to-head here. Ison getting the better of that exchange for the moment, but it's going to come right back in to go ahead and clear this. Rotations continue here Neither team really prioritizing the camps here. We did see Red go ahead and get one of these two camps, but nothing too major from that. They get a little bit off the bottom wall, and they're going to go ahead and push this wave in. They're actually going to make a strong rotation right down to this bottom camp. They're going to try and pick up this siege.
Hero slain.
Leoric actually going down in that top lane. A little bit of B-stepping even coming out from Ison here in that top lane. And Saru's going to have to wait to be able to come back into this one. Z-Doc trying to zone out with that silence. The rotation coming in here. He's got to be careful. Stukov doesn't have a whole lot of escape possibilities, but Misconductor actually going to go ahead and just walk right on by, make sure he caps this. Advantage going to go over to Ison here in that top lane as Saru starts to try and clear this, and they are setting up a gank for him here. Saru's going to actually rotate up to try and pick this up, but he may not see Crafty double coming in on this. Ison gets started on him. Crafty will come in, actually misses the bomb there, but he is able to blink through at the end of that Wraith Walk. He gets rooted, and Saru is going to go down here. Another solid gank and rotation by the side of Reborn Knights Black. But dedicating two members in the top, Red is able to hold the bottom for now. Good start for them. Uther Q build. Yeah, I guess that's what Uther's going here. Huge VP actually going to get most of the members of Reborn Knights Red. Rabbit Penguin on the other side, though, is going to be able to stand out long enough to get the kill on Diablo, so no APOC to follow it up. Diablo also caught up in that VP, so was not able to get the normal follow-up you'd expect from that. So we're going to see 75 seconds until they can give that one another shot. And they are, however, going to cap the bottom here. Crafty will go ahead and blink out, so that's for now going to stall their grabbing of that Dragon Knight. And now Ison is here to go ahead and try and stall it out again from Red. We're taking a ton of harass from Agent right to the face. Misconductor going to turn around and cap this Dragon Knight, and that is going to be the second Dragon Knight of the game. This one going over to Reborn Knights Red. 6-6 so far on the kill count. Both teams still have all of their structures, so we'll have to see what they can get out of this. The tower shots being completely diminished at this point. Gonna help them push at least the front wall. Extreme Bunny, thank you so much for the follow. Congratulations on being J-baited. Very, very prolific status around you. You see the focus is going to be on the bottom lane here for Reborn Knights Red as we continue to see the never-ending struggle of Leoric and Arthas in the top lane, but I will spare you guys from having to watch that mess, as we do see a kick coming out here from Misconductor to at least give himself a little room from Glover, but being very patient with this Dragon Knight. And apparently Saru's not too happy with his pick on this one, but he's going to have to live with it somehow, as Arthas does actually make a very smart rotation to the mid lane to get that soak as well, trying to catch up here as almost a level lead at this point for Red. However, the turn is real, and they have to be careful not to bunch up. They do have the VP combo, and again, we see Ison rotating in as well. Reborn Knights Red still on the full retreat. Rabbit Penguin even going to throw out the cocoon there onto Arthas to ensure that they're able to retreat out of that situation. But we're going to see a four-man rotation to the mid as Reborn Knights Black trying to get whatever they can here. Crafty also going to scout him out on this camp. I think the VP could be coming down right here. There it is, two-man VP. They only catch a couple, but the APOC is going to be there to follow it up on the two members that get caught, and they're going to get very, very low. Phantoms makes it out with almost no health. Rabbit Penguin not so lucky, as he's going to fall on that Anubarak. Lots of healing here into the meat and potatoes of Reborn Knights Black. The push even going to come out on Saru, and the zoning entomb is actually going to get rid of two of those members. Stop them from chasing too much, as Saru is going to be able to get out of this situation. Nice entomb there to actually disengage. At first, that looked like something that might not have been worth, but it did totally save his life there. So, good job there by Saru, as he's able to secure that escape for himself. Meanwhile, both teams going to look to re-rotate, start to push out these lanes, and Reborn Knights Black will go ahead and recap another one of their camps here. So you see the rotation from a few members of Red onto their hard camp. It'd be interesting to see if Crafty actually wants to try to scout this out. He is coming up towards the top lane. They may be looking for another gank here onto Saru. Gonna go ahead and play it safe and back around. He's got nothing to do in that lane for the moment. The Shrine's activating here. 5 seconds away. I agree with you. This game is incredibly close here. But we do see the dive in here on the Maker. They're trying to get Kael'thas. Nice two-man gravity lapse to be able to give himself a little bit of room. And we do see Glover actually pushing Phantoms out of position. Agent G extremely low on the back end. The VP is going to come down. They do have the APOC available, and there it is to follow up. Crafty's going to drop that. But a huge Divine Shield from Misconductor to save Agent's life for the moment, but he will end up going down after that 3-second ult is over. And they're going to turn on Rabbit Penguin as well. He's going to go down, and Reborn Knights Black securing themselves a 2-for-0 exchange. Make that a 3-for-0 exchange, and only Phantoms is going to get himself out of this situation. A little bit too much of a prioritization there. On to picking up the Shrine, I think, by Reborn Knights Red. They are having a really hard time countering this combination of VP and APOC. Very strong combo coming out from Reborn Knights Black here. They have good follow-up to it, and so far it has been wrecking for them. Meanwhile, Black looking to claim their prize in not only getting this bottom fort, but they also are able to cap the Dragon Knight. And now they are going to be able to definitely win the race to 16 here as well. So things looking a little bit grim for the side of Reborn Knights Red. They are going to put the 4-man defense squad here to try and take this down. Agent G, knowing he has a lot of good damage onto the Dragon Knight, but Glover knows that too, so he's going to go ahead and punt him on out of here, which is going to give him the opportunity to get some solid siege in without the worry of taking too much damage. Z-Doc maybe in a little bit too far. Rabbit Penguin recognizes it. Comes down, and a huge entomb from Saru as they're able to isolate 2 members. Z-Doc is going to be the first to fall in this team fight, and Reborn Knights Red is trying to come in, but they turn and are going to get Uther very low. He's going to have to de-shield himself to get out of that situation. Meanwhile, Agent trying to get all that he can out of that commandeered Odin, but will end up going down. And we see the disengage yet again coming out from that web wrap as Ison's going to try and get Crafty out of here, but the stun chain comes down and he gets completely blown up there. The Phantoms looking to take advantage of that reset, and Ison is going to go down as well. All in all, that comes out to be a very, very long 4-for-1 exchange, and they are able to negate most of what the Dragon Knight can do. They do end up they are going to end up getting this mid fort, but that could have been much, much worse for the side of Reborn Knights Red, as they are able to take advantage of the fact that the Dragon Knight not really that good of a team fighting element. If you just push past the Dragon Knight and focus on the other 4 characters, a lot of times you can get a ton of value, and we saw that there as the entire time that fight was going on. The Dragon Knight not really able to peel the way you would normally expect a Diablo to be able to peel and stun and do all those kind of things. So Glover not able to take full advantage of that element of the team fights, but instead just focusing on the siege damage. They do get the mid fort, and they are going to rotate to be able to clear the bottom siege camp as well as pick up their own, but we're going to see a few rotations coming here. They actually do a nice job of picking up this camp. It's going to get a little bit of value here before the side of Red is able to rotate up and get it. But gotta give huge props in that last team fight as well to Saru. Had a very nice entomb there to be able to secure a couple of isolation kills there. And so far, Red making this a very, very interesting game against Reborn Knights Black. It looked like they were heading down a little bit. Crafty actually rotating in on this. He is able to pick it up in time. He's going to get the huge 4-man VP. The APOC is there to follow up to cancel it just in time. 5-man APOC here. Agent G is going to end up going down in the top. And everybody on the side of Reborn Knights Red completely falling apart in that situation. they go and they split themselves in a bunch of different directions, lose 2, and they are also going to lose that camp, which is going to end up pushing into the top lane right in time for this Dragon Knight. However, Reborn Knights Black not really paying attention to the Dragon Knight being up. They're going to go ahead and go after this mid keep. They are clearing it as fast as they can. Z-Doc trying to keep them all alive. And here they come into that mid lane. They are going to get on Misconductor. The root falls down. They get him to about half health. The silence coming in from Z-Doc, and that's Dukov's lurking arm. And they are looking to take out this mid-keep. They refocus to it. They're going to get enough damage on it. Ison's going to go ahead and take it down. But all of a sudden, he's kind of caught in pretty deep. He gets web wrapped. We also see the Entomb on the Pie Maker. They are going in after him. And Phantom's actually not quite ready to commit to it yet, but he does go in with a lot of members low there. They get the initial kill onto the Pie Maker, but they lose 2 in the process. And the lurk and the shove coming out onto Phantoms to peel off of Z-Doc, but Ison's still in a lot of trouble from that original web wrap misposition. And they are pushing them back here. Z-Doc is going to still end up getting low. He goes down, but they trade him out for Agent G there on the Tychus. Now Phantom's in a lot of trouble, and Crafty Devil is able to walk in and kill him with all those blinks. Nice thing about Zeratul as a counter to Genji there is one of the few heroes in the game mobile enough to keep up, so Crafty securing another kill. He's having a monster game here with all of these VPs and isolation kills. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, level 20's been picked up for the side of Arcade Black, and they are going to go ahead and position to get themselves a Dragon Knight here. They get both of these in, and Ison's here for the rotation. They can go ahead and put him in this Dragon Knight and have level 20. Still an entire level until Arcade Red is going to be able to get this, and so they may be able to march down this mid lane and end this game right here. Few members here trying to push out this wave as far as they can, but it does look like they're going to just go ahead and focus on getting this bottom camp first. Crafty Devil very low on mana here, but is going to go ahead and mount up and start scouting for his team. It looks like the focus is actually going to be on this bottom keep rather than going for game here, but they do still have this 20 advantage, so this keep should be fairly easy for them to be able to secure. However, they got to also be careful of the counter engage, remembering of course of the Dragon Knight. Not that great in team fights. We do see Commandeer Odin coming down from Agent G as he's going to try to start the process of this counter siege. Crafty Devil comes in and is able to draw out the VP. The APOC is there to follow up, but it's just a tick too late there. Or a tick too early on the drop. They are able to get some of the members out. The Rabbit Penguin going to end up going down with that D-Shield dropping. And all of a sudden, Black has the opportunity here with 2 keeps down to try to end. They're doing what they can to try and get another pick here. They are going to end up getting Agent G on that Tychus down. And this team fight's going everywhere. Phantom's doing what he can in the back, but the healing from Stukov is just too strong. Able to keep Crafty Devil nice and healthy here. The Dragon Knight is on the core, and that is going to be it. GG. Reborn Knights Black taking the scrim match here on Dragonshire. Pretty solid match coming out from both of these teams. I think the combo just a little bit too strong. Every time it came out, after that first initial combo when Glover got caught in that first VP, the second one and on, they got kills every single time. And Noir, you can blame it on the build all you want, but at the end of the day, I think it was the combo that came out from the side of Reborn Knights Black. They just hit those combos harder, and that's just how a lot of those games go. Well, thank you very much for joining me, guys. This scrim was a lot of fun, but we're going to be coming right back about 10 minutes from now. We're going to be cycling around, and we're going to have a huge Division 2 match. I almost said Pro Division. What can I say? They used to be in Pro Division, but it's going to be Stranger Mings versus Lizard Wizards coming up in about 10 minutes. We will be back soon. Stick around.